it is not a constitutional requirement or responsibility on an ex-president say change na brabontin if it's beholding on him as an ex-president to come and talk about that and on then it means that he has not been responsible to do that. You understand? But clearly I don't think it is required of ex-president to come out publicly. So we have a lot of people not paying taxes. You understand? So if through the introduction of e-levy, at least our tax net can be widened for us to get more people paying tax, then yes, it is good, because for how long are we going to depend on external funds through loans and all that to develop our nation? So if we should, resort to e-levy as a means of generating internal money through taxing, then yes, it is good for us as a nation, because in some way it is a carbon brain.
You are for Makwaba Edeba Adom channel, so I am a car Adom channel. Now I do so say to me enter K. It's and somewhere a bahan a yano custom set taken so dear. To me enter that was ya and then send be a cost my gun and watch as a Melbuno, Wama Solawaka, Wama Chesses, and a demonstration, dear. Watch as a worker MP Piamano calling in Ahono, yet the Ebba so not as ya to be a diamano. And no end I Kevin Taylor, so a diabatomon. So I Kuffour let's say, hey, when they want to shock of person say, ya won't cry then can time to a moon some, our your my gun and moon so what moon say, Nibra Bentino, Kevin, Edia Beto, I just said, Man Penya would chill, Moya John at the Kuffour, and to our my mupa and I said, your mine ya tia pesesa, or my and I live in some, and ya would dear cost or mine and one can someone, and some women, a yaba to chon como, ya two inside ya free near Baba could be nansa, ya better your common to channels in the entire Humra. You never for a trial at the Abba, now said the some no Abba or not as a one more Ghana, one more any bear, one more shock or say, a Kevin Taylor, the Simbi at Sano, and now dear what didn't have for it. Now Kevin Taylor, and the Bra war, a chief executive officer at the Loud Silence Media, a boy not just and 7 in a course. So now meaning a moon what in Simbia but so one I watch her say, which kind of former president are you, Kuffour? Don't you see the bad happenings under Akufo governance? Why are you not speaking about this publicly so we all know how responsible you are? Did you not hear the number of people who died during the election of 2020? Have you not heard Akufo is trying to force e-levy in the normal Ghanaian? So why are you not speaking? Why should a former president like you sit there for Akufo to do just anything? You are highly disappointed. You ought to speak out now, Mr. Former President. Speak, because Ghanaians are suffering. Kevin Taylor and some watches when you draw at the Abato and I was young, yes, Sam ran your name, your Bama and Chunkom. Mabari, Mitchell. Next thing, Yamia Domus, me and school Musway.
Biaboko.
I was young, some air cost to our my gun. Naina, Mebunim, Rancy, and Maba waiting, said Yama a sequel. I remember one of Cranny saying I was in.
Okay, with regards to Kelvin Taylor's issue, I would say that the right to air views on issues. So preferably, yes, he's right to come out to say that. But I always say that the constructive content of what you say really matters. Say, I buy air the name, I can come out as a young guy to talk about that. But what really matters is how do I constructively talk about it?
Okay.
Now, yes, if we should have an ex-president still alive, it's a plus to a nation because they have the past experience to help current ruling government. So if Kelvin Taylor feels that the existence of our ex-president, His Excellency Kuffour, should be of much weight on the ruling government, then yes. But you know, he made use of certain words like you are disappointing, irresponsible, and all that. Now, I think there is no constitutional provision, if I'm right, that states the role for an ex-president to publicly come out to voice out his say on political or issues related to governance. So if that is it, then it is not a line responsibility on him. And that is to say, change now umbra bonting embekasa.
Okay.
He can come out to, I mean, expect the ex-president to talk about it, but he shouldn't be like, I'm disappointed in the sense that Enna, you've not come out publicly.
Yeah.
Besides, do you know the indoor, I mean, gathering or meeting between these two people? That is our current ruling president and then ex-president Kuffour. No. So even if you feel there is something you need to talk about with regards to bringing his attention to talk about what is going on right now, you are right. But then I feel that it is not necessary for him to just publicly come out and then talk about that. Say, I'm on GTV, I'm on whatever station to just come and talk about the fact that an E-levy is no good, the country is not going on well and all that. So, as I'm saying, he's been a good citizen. That is on the part of Kelvin Taylor to come out and then expect our father. Yes, that is how I call him, our father, ex-president, to talk about that. It's writing, but you know, the constructive content of it. How are you talking about it? You sounded somehow, I mean, it's like you are throwing a shot.
Yes.
You are irresponsible, disappointing towards and all that. Irresponsible, as I'm saying, it is not a constitutional requirement or responsibility on an ex-president say change na brabonting. If it's beholding on him as an ex-president to come and talk about that, and then it means that he has not been responsible to do that. You understand? But clearly, I don't think it is required of ex-president to come out publicly. So that is my side on that part. And you see, talking about e-levy, I hope you want to talk about that as well. As a nation, we have what we call tax net. It deals with the
any ashafo any komo kakra abusuafo said the nsem no ebe kro na ayin ye bra yi wo ye student e wo Legon wo no wo ka active committee member academic ayin enti said the nen komo twetwe ni be ko bia na abusua sa e na ye de kro na o kasa nso asebe na chese niema no wa bie mu ama ye nyina no ye nya ye ho enti ase esa se school ne de ye nen so brofo no na isa wo de afrafra mu e de amaye na ye e-levy semsem a wakofa e de abai ebi mu e kire se abeboa ebi nso se ameboa ye wo wa ye bebu na wo ye youth sa ka ho e din pa na wo beka e de afa e-levy.
Okay, thank you. So we show the state of our nation now in terms of economics and all that. You realize that I would say e-levy is a boon and bane. But focus on nice. It means adibia emphasis and then it has a bad side.
Good and bad side.
Good and bad. That is a good and bad. Because you see, as a nation, we don't have our tax net is very narrow. Tax net has to do with the mechanism through which the government, I mean, gets revenue in the form of taxes. We have a lot of people not paying taxes. You understand? So, if through the introduction of e-levy, at least our tax net can be widened for us to get more people paying tax, then yes, it is good because for how long are we going to depend on external funds through loans and all that to develop our nation? So if we should, I mean, resort to e-levy as a means of generating internal money through taxing, then yes, it is good for us as a nation because in some way it is a brain. And then if we have to borrow, for instance, an amount of $500 million for a project, once we get e-levy, it was stated by the finance minister that it is expected that e-levy will generate, he gave an estimation of $1.15 billion. It is a huge sum of money for national development. So, I mean, John Kuma, that is Honorable John Kuma, the deputy minister as well, he made a number of benefits, including paying our contractors, I mean, developing our entrepreneurial level as a nation and all that. You see, but the question here is that already the Ghanaian citizens are kind of swimming in poverty. You understand? Because we have a number of people that it's even difficult for them to make their ends meet. So if things are not already going on and you are bringing a policy that is going to, I mean, increase the burden on us more, then it means that it is not going to favor us. You understand? So that's why I'm saying that it has the good side of it and the bad side of it. But I will state that for us to embrace e-levy very well, you know, let's assume that upon all the talks on it, e-levy is passed, okay? And the citizens are getting the value for the money they are paying. You talk about e-levy, also the debate contractors, we would use you to, fund entrepreneurial programs and all that, digital and cyber security. If we see the progress in the nation with those payments we are making, then yes. But I keep saying that the level of apathy from the Ghanaian citizens would rise more in the future, because succeeding government would also come, and if they try to come along with policies, we would always go against their policies, because we feel that even with the past ones that they brought on board, we've not generated the needed benefit of it. Now let me just say this. For instance, if you should go to IMF and you go for loan, that is from the little that I know, there are terms and conditions attached to it. So IMF will let you know that at the end of the day, bring this amount of money. If I came for $100 million, you are not just paying that money back to them, but with an interest.
Yeah.
You understand? So IMF would comfortably give you money, because they know that at the end of the day, they're also getting something back.
Yeah.
So now let us consider the Ghanaian citizens as IMF. Now the government is coming to us to come for money in the form of the e-levy tax. So at the end of the day, if I expect as a citizen that for whatever reason or need the tax is being collected is met, then yes, I'll be cool with that.
All right. Let's look at this sector. Ghanaians are complaining that the loans and other things the government are going in for, it is not necessary. Because when you look at Ghana, for instance, we have so many things here. But yes, so we export things outside. So why don't we involve much in the Ghana products and then leave the outside? Because we have sugar cane, we have cocoa. But yes, so we export Milo, we export sugar. What is the essence of that?
Okay, I always say that the current state of Ghana doesn't match the nation considering its resources. We have everything.
Yeah.
But the whole thing boils down to leadership. That is how I see everything. It boils down to leadership. Now, we talk about cocoa, gold.
But we still export outside.
That is it. So the question here is that what is the problem?
Yeah.
Has the problem got to do with nature in the sense that we are lacking those resources? No, we have them. But the needed leadership, to just exploit those things to create a meaningful benefit for it to the nation is lacking. And I believe that our president, ministers and all that, they are making their best. But I feel that more can be done to that to help us. Because honestly, if we should talk about an endowed nation with resources, then Ghana is part, and I think it is somehow sad to see us suffering despite all those things that we have.
Okay, Brother Ima, we are bringing our conversation to an end.
Okay.
Can you please tell the youth to exercise some patience, because as time goes on, Ghana will be a better nation.
Okay, yes, Ghana will be a better nation. But what I'll say is that we are 60 plus old in terms of independence, and yes, as a nation, I don't believe independence has to do with just going in numbers, but we must see our growth in numbers relating to our socioeconomic living. So as youth, if we feel things are not going on right well, we have, legal means of pushing our ideas, pushing our thoughts on issues related to government. And it wouldn't be ideal for a youth to just sit behind and then think that government is not doing the right thing and we just stand up and lay criticisms against the government. But as youth, then try your best that we would follow issues of national interest and then see the way forward. We shouldn't just sit down and then be insulting our leaders and all that, because it's not an easy task. So let us try to learn from the positives of our fathers, our forefathers, and then even ruling fathers right now, and grow our sense of entrepreneurialism, and I think it's gonna be warm. Yeah.
Abusiafo ha na chese 11 sensem no ene chese ni nyina no ye kra no edi ebesi ye enu tie Kevin Taylor nsem a wode beto wode fa ye John Addo Kuffour na ye di ababe som no Adom channel there we are dynamic in all aspects. Me din edi twaso him
Ewrade Nyankopon shira na Ewrade nyokese me din ade the major prophet kum chacha on say ne social media Facebook and YouTube no on the channels no Addo ba baby ba ko pe and say odifo kum chacha me sole ya mehwe eno ane Adom channel Adom channel na wagye so untumi ntake bomoden na baabi a ya wo hwe no eye YouTube anase Facebook no se free ho said your prophet kum chacha ma se free ho because on say ne mesi ko bi kura asese ne din your friend say tilapia sana odifo kum chacha ma se me YouTube ni me Facebook channel ni nyina ena me de aba Adom channel untumi ntake